Today, we're diving into the origin story of what might be called the very first unicorn startup of the Spring and Autumn era, the state of Zheng. Around 800 BC, the Zheng was still a brand new venture. Compared with the old established noble houses, they were the ambitious underdog, young but gaining momentum with impressive speed. The founder and CEO, Duke Huan of Zheng, was a man well connected. As the brother of the Zhou king and a senior official of the country, he possessed the influence and credibility to accelerate Zheng's rise. He began with only a small tract of land near the Zhou capital of Haojing, but with his first-hand experience serving the king, he understood that Zhou dynasty had become a swaying, unstable tower. And when the tower collapsed, everyone standing too close is the first to be crushed. So he went to the king and asked for a plot of land far to the east, anywhere as long as it's safe, away from the wobbling Zhou capital. The king approved, and Duke Huan wasted no time. He packed up the entire team and sprinted toward their new home, the land that would become Zheng. Once he settled in, his status as Zhou's senior management and the king's endorsement made waves. Nearby minor cities hurried to get on his good side, even handing over 10 cities just to welcome him. Duke Huan and the leaders after him ran Zheng with full predator energy. Staying a tiny state with a few scattered cities was never part of the plan. The east was a gold mine. Lush farmland, thriving commerce, and prime real estate everywhere you looked. So Zheng moved fast, snapping up promising lands and rapidly expanding its footprint on the map. By the time the third CEO, Duke Zhuang, stepped in, Zheng was already on the track to become the era's first true unicorn. But before he could scale the company and build his legacy, he had one critical issue to deal with, a brewing internal threat. To secure the future of Zheng, he first had to confront and ultimately eliminate his own brother. So today, we dive into Duke Zhuang's most infamous chapter of family warfare, a textbook case of luring your rival into making the fatal mistake, then striking with full legal justification. Duke Zhuang's life wasn't easy, though. His mom, Lady Jiang, openly favored his younger brother, Shu Duan, and treated her firstborn like expired leftovers. Even his name carried a mark of misfortune. He was called Wu Sheng, meaning born feet first. The birth terrified his mother so much that she immediately branded him trouble from the very start. She spent years whispering in his father's ear, trying to get him replaced by his little brother as the heir of the throne, but his dad refused to do so as the social norm dictated that elder son would become the heir. Zhuang became CEO while still in his teens, and his mother immediately demanded a fiefdom for her favorite son. First, she set her sights on Zhi City, later known as the Tiger Prison Pass, a name that gives away its importance, a critical strategic choke point. Zhuang thought to himself, Mom, you're trying to hand my brother control over the company's lifeline so he can replace me whenever he wants. But he didn't lose his cool. Calmly, he replied, Oh, that place is unlucky. A ruler once died there. His mom pivoted immediately. Fine, gave him Jing City. Jing was basically big enough to become a second capital, completely against all rules. And at that moment, the last fragile string of mother-son affection in Duke Zhuang's heart went snap. He agreed expressionless. You want it? Sure, take it. Take all of it. The plan was simple. Let them push until they cross the line. Then strike. Predictably, little brother Shu Duan moved to Jing and immediately started renovating, hiring private muscle, stockpiling grain, the whole wannabe coup starter pack. Zhuang, meanwhile, silently watched for 20 years. His minister panicked. Boss, your brother is about to overthrow you. If you don't do something, I might as well just pack up and serve him. Zhuang just sipped tea and delivered his immortal line. Those who do too many bad things eventually destroy themselves. When the time was right, Zhuang pretended he was taking a business trip to visit the Zhou king. The brother bought it and launched his rebellion. Zhuang smiled. All right, time to close the net. He defeated his brother, chased him all the way to Yan City, and finally expelled him from the country. Ancient historians often criticize Duke Zhuang as cold-blooded, watching his brother spiral out of control without intervening, and some even suggest he subtly nudged him along. He wasn't removing a rival, he effectively created one and then eliminated them. It's as if he saw this as the only legal way to deal with his brother and in some sense wanted him out of the picture from day one. But the real source of the tragedy wasn't Zhuang. If his mother had shown even a little fairness, a shred of warmth, could a man born with everything still have grown such deep resentment towards his own brother? The ones who truly deserved the scolding were the biased mother and the negligent father. They gave their eldest son power and bitterness, and their younger son pampering and ambition, Together, they created a family time bomb now waiting to explode. Not every dysfunctional family needs to be settled like Duke Zhuang settled his, but recognizing the problem is the first step out of the shadow. Lady Wujiang's greatest failure wasn't even her bias. It was that she never understood every act of unequal love wires explosives into her family's future. Anyway, once the internal purge was done, Duke Zhuang could finally turn outward and grow Zheng into the era's first true unicorn. How did he make a name for himself? Stay tuned for the next episode.